Hello and welcome back to another week of playing Pauper. This week we are showing off the combo deck, Izzet Drake. It dodged being banned in the Eldritch Moon update, which means we have at least about 2 months to play it, until it very likely gets banned when Kaladesh comes out. So if you want to play the best deck, it's probably Izzet Drake, but keep in mind that you may only get to play it for a few months before it is banned. So the central combo of the deck is to use Peregrine Drake and Archaeomancer, get them both on the battlefield, cast Ghostly Flicker targeting them. This generates 2 mana because it only costs 3 to cast Ghostly Flicker, and you untap 5 lands with Peregrine Drake. And then you immediately get back that Ghostly Flicker with Archaeomancer, so you make infinite mana in that way. From there, you can either use card draw spells, or you can flicker Archaeomancer plus Mulldrifter, or Archaeomancer plus Seagate Oracle to dig through your deck as much as you like. And you can go find your win condition, which is a Rolling Thunder. So with infinite mana, you just Rolling Thunder your opponent out of the game. Also, Seagate Oracle and Mulldrifter are good on their own. Peregrine Drake is efficient, Archaeomancer can be very good in a deck with lots of instants and sorceries, so you can often win without going infinite at all and just being a good control deck. So on this page we see the Ghostly Flicker that we use to execute the combo. We actually only have 3 of them. You could play the full 4 if you wanted to, but you tend not to need that many Ghostly Flickers. You only need 1 to go off. And you can have backup ones if one gets exiled or something from your graveyard after you've used it for value instead of used it to go infinite. But generally 3 is enough. You have 4 Preordain and 4 Compulsive Research to help you find the pieces of your combo and other things that you need. And the Singleton Rolling Thunder as the main win condition. If your Rolling Thunder is gone, you can just use your normal burn spells. You can go Firebolt you, Flashback Firebolt you, and then Lightning Bolt you 4 times. That does 16 damage, and combined with any other attacks, you can generally kill your opponent. So if your Rolling Thunder is gone, don't despair. You can still do a ton of damage by getting infinite mana and drawing as many cards as you want. The standard use, however, of Firebolt, Flame Slash, and Lightning Bolt is obviously its creature removal. Slow down your opponent and make sure they can't win before you're able to combo off or beat them normally. You also play 4 copies of Counterspell. Some lists play Memory Lapse instead. Being a combo deck, sometimes you don't care about your opponent's next turn and then redrawing something that you memory lapsed and put back on top of their library. However, the mana is generally good enough that Counterspell is castable, so I prefer to go with the better card here. Mana base has Islands and Mountains, obviously, but it also has some other inclusions. It has 4 Swiftwater Cliff and a Guild Gate as normal tap lands, and the Swiftwater Cliffs gain life. The 4 Izzet Boilerworks are nice for getting card advantage. You get to pick up a land and reuse it. It also combos nicely with Peregrine Drake. If you have 5 lands and 1 or 2 of them are Boilerworks, then you generate extra mana whenever you untap Peregrine Drake instead of just generating the 5 from untapping 5 lands. You also have 2 Forgotten Cave, which can be played or cycled when you need an actual spell. In the sideboard, we have 3 Electricity for tokens and Elf decks. We have a Giga Drowse. This is good in control matchups. On your opponent's end step, you Giga Drowse and you target all their untapped lands. And then they generally can't do anything about it, and they become tapped out, and then on your turn you can combo off. They can sometimes avoid Giga Drowse, tapping them completely out. They can use a counter spell to counter one of the Giga Drowses, and then save 1 open land, and then maybe be able to dispel and interact with you a little bit on your turn, but in general it's very hard for someone to interact after you cast a Giga Drowse on them. We also have 2 Gorilla Shaman for shutting down Affinity, 1 Relic of Progenitus for graveyard decks, and the full 4 Hydroblast and Pyroblast. Being in blue and red is nice because we get access to these extremely powerful sideboard cards, which are good against red or blue decks respectively. This deck is a ton of fun to play. If you don't mind picking up a deck that might get banned soon, I highly recommend it. It's very powerful. You get to play 4 Mulldrifter, 4 Seagate Oracle, you get to draw a bunch of cards, remove your opponent's threats, you even get counter spells to have a safety valve in case something goes wrong. And it's just in general very powerful. So let's get to the matches and see how we do. Don't forget that I'm always accepting new playing Pauper submissions. If you have a deck you want me to try out, you can email it to me at pauper@mtggoldfish.com or tweet it to me at jakestylesmtg.